Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Welcome into another episode of the KFG Podcast. I'm your host, as always, and your commissioner and 4 seed in this lovely playoffs that we have. And I'm joined here by our 1 seed, one-time champ, runner-up on the points title this year, sadly enough. But Justin Bartus, welcome into our playoff pod for KFG.
Damn, I was happy to be here until you had to throw that in there, the points title. Still a soft topic for me, but it's all good. We got bigger fish to fry this off season or playoff season.
This playoff town. All right. Well, we got 4 matchups. You get to sit pretty. You get to sit on your couch this weekend. You get to just watch some football, enjoy it. Have a beer, have a snack, whatever. You get to relax away on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 3 nights, and just kind of chill out and watch the rest of us battle it out and see who you're going to kind of face here. We got our 4-5 matchup with me and Emmett, and we got our 3-6 matchup with your brother himself and the points champ Greg. You excited? Who do you got? Who's your favorites? What are you thinking just overall before we get into the matchups?
Yeah, no, definitely excited to have the bye. Last year obviously botched it. This year it's good to, get that week off to relax. Good for the fellas in Buffalo to get that week off to relax. Hopefully the coaches consider that, the big things we got coming up next week and, take it easy on the guys. But, so 2 good matchups, definitely. Excited to break them down. Love what happened in free agency this morning. I know you'll probably touch on that in a second. Directly affected you on what Emmett was doing. He had the most budget available in $65 and put it to good use to really affect your matchup. So, I'm very excited for it. I mean, that's going to be a pivotal part. QB is super important in any week, but especially first week of the playoffs, you got to have somebody that you can trust. And man, did Emmett manipulate that.
Yeah. I was trying to not talk about that, but I guess we can get into it there. Start with a little waiver run that happened this morning. Yeah, I woke up at 5 a.m. I only have $1, so I got to use my dollar to block Greg because I know Greg was also trying to go for a quarterback. So I got to use $1 to get one of my guys. Put $1 on Stafford, $1 on Sam Howell. I woke up at 5 a.m. I'm like, let me check it out. I noticed my team doesn't have a quarterback, and when you pick something up that you don't have, they auto slot into your lineup, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Let me check the waiver order, and Emmett over here put $2 on both guys that I would have taken as my QB this week, and therefore blocked me from getting a quarterback. And you know what, we're gonna roll with some other options. I'm not set in stone yet, nothing locked in, but we got other options here, and hopefully that comes back to just hurt him. Maybe Emmett helped me out without realizing it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how those dominoes fall. But I mean, your team's obviously solid. Quarterback is important, but your team's gonna give you a shot no matter who's there. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it falls. But yeah, I mean, we'll go. I don't know which one you want to start with. You want to start 3-6 or you want to go 4-5?
Might as well just start with the 4-5 since we've been talking about myself. We've been talking about Emmett so far. We might as well just roll into it with our 4-5 matchup. Me hosting Emmett here. He's got to come into a tough place to play this time of year. But
Yeah, no, and your guys' logos look so similar. I'm looking at them right now. Projected totals, deadlocked. If you round up your total, we're looking at 127 even. But apparently ESPN has a 0.6 spread with Emmett as the favorite, 127.3 to 126.7.
Basically
and that's currently with you at Jake Browning at Q.
Yeah, basically
yeah, I love that. I mean, what else could you ask for?
Yeah, and a good 4-5.
You get the the division. In the NFL, you get a division winner versus the top wild card team. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Looking at it, I mean, Emmett's team, rock solid start. Losing JJ derailed the train a little bit, but now he's back. He's gotten the train rolling again. Kenneth Walker's back, so injuries, took their toll on this team. But Brees looking really good. ETN's been solid all year. And like you said, you got JJ back, probably for the Cincinnati game. We'll wait to see how that's going to go. Nico Collins banged up too. But yeah, no, like his team a lot. DeAndre Swift, not even in the lineup right now. He's on the bench and he's had a great season. So, he's got options if any of those guys aren't available to go. But yeah, Emmett's got a real solid team. Looking at your team, I mean, it's been good all year too. I know, you hit a little lull during the middle of the season too, but obviously recovered. And there's a lot of promise. Kieran's back. Kieran's been rolling. The only thing is, what concerns me, to be honest, is no Herbert for Keenan. So we'll see how that goes. I don't even know who the Charger starter is.
Big Easton Stick.
Okay, he's gonna hyper target Keenan because that's who you'll need. He's a short
we'll
route guy. Anyway,
I wouldn't. All I'm gonna say is I wouldn't trust what my starting lineup is right now to be my final starting lineup this week. It's just what it is for right now. You gotta look all around. I'm not set in stone. I'm not locked in with anyone. A couple guys are definitely locked in, but other than that, we got a couple plays we could switch things into. I'm still mulling over, still talking in house with my guys, trying to figure out what the best lineup is, and we'll get something for Sunday. But I wouldn't say that we're set in stone just yet.
Absolutely, yeah. Long week of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Exactly.
See how practice goes too, of course.
Yes, of course. Well, Keenan's not even at practice yet, so we'll see if we even get him into practice before Thursday night's game. He might not even be, if he's out, then I would have my 3rd through 6th round picks all just sitting in my IR spot for the playoffs, which is just a lovely spot to be in.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's definitely been a season to say the least here. Started 4-0, took a nice injury toll on my team and kind of headed in a spiral trend. But no, you look across, Emmett's kind of similar to where I am. We've both had those weeks where you're like, holy shit, this team could be the best team in the league. And then you've had those weeks where you look at it and you're like, how the hell are they even in the playoffs? So Emmett and I kind of very similar season, up and down. We're very... we got the good guys. We've picked up QBs and tight ends off the waiver wire. Obviously, his are a little bit better because he had to do that earlier in the year than I did. But, it's a very similar team. I think it's going to be a very close matchup. You look back to when we played each other only once this year, I was able to beat Emmett 128 to 123. So it was a 5-point swing right there. You know it's going to be a close game. We've never faced each other in the playoffs. This will be the first time ever. But... it's going to be a close one. I don't want to speak too much on my own matchup just because I don't want to give Emmett any words of encouragement or anything like that. I don't want him to have any ammo to fire up his team with or anything next week where he could come back with a meme. So I'll try to keep this one brief on my side. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I will say my bold prediction here. I think the winner of this matchup gets to the championship. That's my bold prediction of the playoffs. I think.
Wow. Okay.
I think one of our two teams could make a run if they win this game. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it there. I'll pass it to you if you have anything left you want to say about this matchup.
Okay. Yeah, I'll drop a little background for those watching at home too, if you haven't seen what the playoff picture looks like. So we got me at the 1, Drew at the 2, which he covered with the buys. Greg at the 3. Emmett at the 4, Nick at the 5, Kyle at the 6. So me at the 1, I play the lowest seed available. So that doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be playing the winner of this matchup. It depends, obviously, what happens with Greg and Kyle first and foremost. That's the one that locks in, Drew and I's opponents. So yeah, I mean that's a big prediction because that's an upset either way in the semifinal round. So hoping that is not true. If Greg wins, hoping that prediction falls flat, but. No, I think it's gonna be a great one. I think that you guys will go over in this matchup total. Yeah, I'm excited because I don't know. Like I said, Emmett's got some options too. Like Drake London had a big game, Swift on the bench. Like his lineup's probably not set either, 100% the way it is now. A lot of you got to monitor a lot of stuff, do some research, but you're not giving a prediction. I know you don't want to give any bulletin board material, but you're not submitting a prediction on yourself.
No, not yet. It's too early for me to lock in a prediction. Thursday we'll send out our our Fantasy 5 playoff edition. And I'll make a pick there, but for record's sake, no, I'm not going to make a prediction on my own game, actually. I'm going to stay away on camera, on air. I don't want to, not going to pick a side here. I'll pick a side in the next one, don't worry. But for this one, I'm going to stay out. I'm going to let my team do their thing, do some talking.
Damn, so that goes on me. That goes on me right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who am I going to go with, man? It's like a flip of a coin here. I might ask Siri to give me a help out here.
It really is. It's definitely going to be a very close one. I feel like I would take the under. It's not a high over-under total, but our teams are not what they used to be. I think we'll both.
I don't know, though.
We're both going to need our running backs and wide receivers to carry it. If one of us can get our QB tight ends to definitely lean Emmett's side when it comes to QB and tight end, as he has 4 QBs that are all better than mine. So you could just kind of rotate whichever one he's feeling. But I would definitely give him the edge there, and then it just comes down to which running backs and wide receivers can kind of break the chain here. Who's going to have those 100-yard games, those 2 touchdowns? Like which side is that going to be on? I do love my matchups, but Emmett's also got
this is gonna
back
be
and forth. It's gonna be, it's very close. Like it's as close as they come. I like my matchups a lot this week. I really do, but Emmett's team is just, I feel like, slightly better just due to the fact that I don't have Herbert, I don't have Mark Andrews. Those were 2 huge pieces of my team. My rotating carousel.
Yeah, this is close. I mean, That's why I like the over, because the matchups do look really friendly, outside of like a few tough ones.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. If I think that, for me personally, if Browning gives you another 30-point game like he's done back-to-back weeks, I think I would take you. By slightest of margins. I'm talking maybe within 5 points again. But if he puts up what he's projected, I do like Emmett to prevail. So, which is more likely? I mean, you're facing Minnesota at home for Browning.
It's not an easy matchup.
That's tough.
It's not an easy matchup.
It's hard.
They didn't even give him a point last week.
And you do have – I know Drew is going to be watching this, so, I'll give him a shout-out to playoff legend Michael Lynn, the third. So, you do have playoff legend Mike on in Green Bay. We saw what Wandale was able to do to them. Who knows what Mike Evans is going to be able to do. I'll swing it to you. I'll swing it to you by a short W. And then who knows, if Greg wins, we'll see each other. We'll see each other next week, possibly.
Hopefully.
And Emmett, if Greg wins, then we'll see you next week.
I mean, it's a good matchup, even with just you look at the playoff history. I've never won a playoff game that's obviously looming over my head, and Emmett hasn't won since his championship year. This is only his 3rd time in the playoffs, so 2nd time back from then. 1st time in the playoffs since 2018 for Emmett. So good to see him back in here. He's looking to get a win and get over, the hump he hasn't been able to get over since 2016. And I haven't been able to do much in my, playoff appearances as well. So just a good matchup for both of us. One of us looks to get into form here. So, I'm excited for this one. It's going to be a good one. And you could see Emmett's taking it seriously when he's scooping up both my quarterbacks. And the waiver wire, we'll mention it for the last time there.
That's amazing. I didn't know that that's his first time back in since 2018. I had no idea.
Yeah,
so that's awesome. Yeah, both guys really need a W here in the playoffs.
Exactly. Definitely need one to bring one back for ownership. Getting on the hot seat. So it'll definitely be a good one. But we'll get into our 3-6 here. I think we've talked enough about myself and Emmett. But we have a good 3-6 here. We got the points champ, Greg. He's hosting your brother, Kyle Cactus Bartus, who snuck his way into the postseason this past week with a nice little victory there. This should be a good one. What's your first thought, just kind of looking at the teams, looking at what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I just got to say how fun it was. I mean, I was at MetLife Stadium on Monday with Kyle. And just for reference on what it came down to for the week, we kind of saw, based on the way the matchups are going, that there were going to be multiple people at 7-7. So it was going to come down to points. Emmett was fine. with the points, but it came down to Josh, Steve, and Kyle for the 6th spot. And it was Saquon Barkley for Josh versus Jaden Reed and DeAndre Hopkins. And I think I don't even know what Kyle was, maybe down like 5 points at the time, in terms of like maybe up 15 in total. Needed to be up 20 to get the spot. Jaden Reed obviously scores that second quarter touchdown. Your boy hit it anytime straight, so I was happy. He's happy.
There you go.
But no, that was really crazy. Saquon was ripping off big plays. He scored twice and had that big play that Josh. I'm sorry, dude. When he burst down the sideline, Kyle's on pins and needles on his hands, and then Saquon fumbled that ball. That was crazy. Big swing in the matchup. So good for Kyle to be able to be here. He's made it 4 out of 5 years, so good for him. Can't count that out. He's been to 2 championships. Greg's been to 4. So, guys have some good playoff pedigree. You look at the previous matchup, Kyle didn't even put up 85 in week 9. So that's not helping his case.
That's kind of been the story for Kyle this year. There's a lot of games where he didn't crack 85.
Yeah, but here he is, right? I mean, regular season's history at this point. So he comes in here now, though, and he's got, all year long, it was, he's got no youth on the team, really, besides Reed. I guess you can consider Jalen Hurts, too. But a lot of his guys, veterans, and they've been carrying the load lately, like DJ Les. I hate to shout him out, but dude, he's seventh best wide receiver this year. I don't know who the hell would have predicted that. Kelsey, the Chiefs been struggling. So this affects Greg too, obviously, with Mahomes. I mean, he just has not been cutting it. Somehow he's still the 6th best quarterback. It does not feel like that. I feel like he hasn't had multi-touchdown weekend forever.
But that's the thing, you're not drafting Mahomes to be the 6th best quarterback. When you draft him where you draft him, you're expecting him to be the number 1,
Yeah.
So when you have him as the 6th best, it definitely feels like a lot worse than it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so just looking down the line, I mean, Kyle's team, I still like it, obviously. I wasn't really big on his running backs, but, they've been fine. James Conner's healthy. He's got Kyler Murray that's looking up for him. Javonte Williams been pretty good. Denver in general has looked a lot better than they started out this year. And who knows? I feel like, his X factors are probably his flexes. He's got DeAndre Hopkins and Jaden Reed in there right now. And it all goes down to the Reed's been real solid lately. And Hopkins, I feel like it's just like, every other week, you never know what you're going to get with Levis. One week, this week he had almost 30 against the Dolphins. And then you can have a week where he catches 2 for 17. That's that type of player is going to decide the week for you. And then we'll look over at Greg. What can you say, dude? He's probably, in my opinion, I think he has, a top 3 team. Definitely, he's obviously the 3rd seed, but I think he's definitely a top 3 team, maybe top 2 on paper. There are just like a few holes, but I mean, hey, they've been producing like Njoku. I didn't think that his 27-point game was going to come out, but it did.
Yep.
Like Amari, he's banking on Joe, and Joe's been balling. He's got 250 and 2 the last 2 weeks, so he's been doing his own. And obviously, you got the best player in football, Debo. Feels like he scores on every touch that he's getting the last couple weeks. So you got to like the way Greg's team's coming into this week.
Yeah, I think just you got a matchup like this. I think we have 2 complete opposite playoff matchups. You have Emmett and I looking to just kind of submit ourselves into finally getting that playoff win that's been a while for me. Never Emmett since 2016, and then you have here 2 guys that have just been kind of dominating in the postseason, or 2 guys you expect to be in the postseason every year. You said it yourself. Kyle 4 out of 5. Well, Greg's been 7 out of 8 in our history into the postseason. So these are 2 guys that know how to win this time of year, right? So I think you get a good matchup there of just 2 guys that have kind of been dominating for a little while. Both have a championship. Both looking to get back. They've been there. They've lost before. Lost a couple times. So they know what it's like to be there to win, and they know what it's like to lose. So two experienced guys going at it. Just looking at the teams, I'll say it straight away. I think Greg's gonna win. I think it might be pretty handily as well. Just looking at matchup wise, I think Greg's matchups they're just unreal this week. I mean, CMC and Debo, I know, he's got a lot of people on the same team, so that kind of hurts. You can't feed them both. But it's going up against Arizona, man, and Arizona's just so weak against the run. And, CMC and Debo both take carries. So I could see them kind of just dominating the backfield. And you know, the only saving grace for Kyle is, well, if the touchdowns don't come early, they might not come at all because realistically, San Fran could be up 20 in the first half and maybe not getting as many touches to Debo and CMC in the second half. But they might rain all over that. You know, Indy going up against Pittsburgh. I know Pittsburgh's been, you know, not great without Kenny Pickett. I mean, they weren't great with Kenny Pickett, but even worse without him. Indy's just such a weak defense as well. You know, you saw what Jake Browning's able to put up against them last week with Chase Brown and Joe Mixon kind of running wild on them. I expect a little bit of the same from Jalen Warren and Najee to kind of bounce back in this one. You know, Chicago's defense has been getting stronger, but still a little, you know, it's not the best defense in the world. I think Cleveland would be able to put up a decent amount of points. And then you cross it over, you know, Kyle's matchups aren't great. James Conner against San Fran in a negative game script doesn't scream a lot of points. You know, that feels like a shutdown. Detroit, I mean, their defense hasn't been great of late, but their run defense is usually pretty stout. It's where they get beat through the air, you know, so not great for Javonte. DJ Moore going up against Cleveland. Cleveland's been a tough defense all year long, especially, you know, the wide receiver position. So I like Greg's matchups a little bit more, so I think he can get it out. But you said it best. I think Kyle's wild cards come from the flex. You know, DeAndre Hopkins and Jaden Reed both in a plus matchup. Both guys have been capable of putting up, you know, big performances. So I think Kyle will kind of lean on them to do it one more time if he wants to pull off this upset win. You're talking about our points champ, so this is a team that's been able to score all year long.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, you know, definitely advantage in matchups to Greg. And you know, like I said, I think that he does have a better team. You know, based on the matchups with that, you know, being considered. I would probably give him the edge. I will take him based on what ESPN has given us here, according to the ESPN bet. We have a 132 projected total for Greg and a 126 projected total for Kyle, about a 6-point spread. I don't know. I feel like it could be close. Like I could see Kyle's team putting up, you know, 130, and Greg's team putting up, you know, maybe 135, between 135 140. So you know that I won't be playing the spread. You know, I might add the money line in LA. You know, and so it's something in the other matchup, or maybe a Sacco match. But on ESPN bet, shout out ESPN bet.
Yeah, plug ESPN bet.
But yeah, I mean, I probably would go Greg.
They're the leading partner for KFG.
Yeah, it's been great. We love what they've been able to do for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited. It's something to monitor too. It's pretty interesting. You know, we got quarterbacks thrown to guys in the opposite teams. So you mentioned how Greg has, you know, pairs from both teams, both Cleveland and, you know, San Francisco. But you also got Mahomes. He's throwing to Kyle's Kelsey, and then you got Hurts throwing to Greg's Devontae. So you know, it could either be huge for the other guy if they're getting peppered. Or it could be, you know, a real, you know, disadvantage for them if they're targeting everybody but them. So, you know, something interesting to consider.
Yeah, and for now, I guess when you look at the schedule, Emmett and I's matchup, if everything is set in stone with the lineups, would end Sunday night. This one will loop over into Monday night. I'm kind of hoping we get like a good, you know, a close Monday night where any team could win. That way it makes it a little bit more exciting. You know, I don't want to see one side up by you know, God knows how many points where you know, the Jalen Hurts or the Devontae Smith just doesn't matter. I think it'll be fun if you know, maybe Greg's up 25 or something, or he's up 20, and you know, Kyle needs that big Jalen Hurts performance, and Greg needs Devontae Smith to kind of keep him within check. But it should be a fun one. You know, this weekend's a little different. We got one game Thursday, which is pretty irrelevant for everyone except maybe me and Kyle having one piece in a Raiders Chargers matchup, and God knows. And then we have 3 games Saturday, a full slate Sunday, and then a Monday night game. So, you know, 3 days of football. So, hey, make sure you guys check your lineup, see when your guys are playing. Because, hey, we're going to have some playoff football coming on Saturday that you know, it's going to be big and it's going to matter. I think both teams have matchups that are going to be going on Saturday. So, we're going to have to be paying attention closely here as a league. So, it should be a good one.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for it,
Yeah.
especially like you can't even say that it's like a non-factor the Thursday night game. I mean, those are your guys' bona fide number ones right there, your wide receivers.
Yeah, but preseason bona fide number ones. I mean, for me, my season number one, but until literally last week, that loss of Herbert is real killer. I mean, he was hyper targeting Keenan like crazy. Not only did I have Herbert, in my head before the week even started, I was just debating even if I wanted to start Herbert like this week, regardless of the injury, just in my own head, just because he hasn't been great. But losing him definitely just hurts Keenan Allen, on the other side of it. So we'll see. I don't even know if Keenan's going to play. Like I said, he hasn't been at practice all week, and the game's tomorrow. So he might not even be out there, and then it might just be Devontae, who honestly should have a pretty good game for Kyle. The Chargers' pass defense has been, they let up their defense has just let up everything to everyone.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you focusing on just the pass?
It's the whole defense itself. So I mean, could be a big one for Kyle. I hate having guys on Thursday night. Like I feel like it's more stressful than Sunday. Sunday, if they have a bad performance, they kind of hide with like the 7 other guys going. But on Thursday, it's just him. So, it's all eyes on Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen across the field of each other on Thursday night in our matchups.
Yeah, and I have always been anti-projection. I've been pretty stout in that stance.
Yeah.
But I'd be lying if I say I didn't look at that. When I'm throwing a guy in there, obviously I take everybody else out that's not playing on Thursday night.
Yeah.
So when I see that number start getting pretty low, I get a little nervous. And those Fridays and Saturdays aren't fun.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Yeah, you don't want to lean on the projections, but it's just nice to have to look at to see. Okay, what do I need? Where does ESPN think I can come back in this one, or where do they think I have the advantage? Obviously, when you're winning, the projections I feel like mean a lot less because you're like, oh, this guy could just easily go off, and when you're losing, they feel a lot more. You're like, all right, how realistic is this comeback, or how how can I do it? How can I pull it off? Yeah, but should be a good one, man. I'm super excited for it. Unfortunately, I'm not around this weekend, so maybe that's a good thing that hopefully I could kind of tune it all out and hopefully wake up to a winning team on Monday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, last question, I guess, really here before we sign off. What's your championship prediction?
This is tough, man. It really obviously depends on the road that we got to do to get there.
You gotta make a bracket right now. Like I want to see the Bartus playoff bracket. Everyone can follow along. What do we got? Who's advancing? Who's gonna be matched up in the next one?
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go with, what is it? So I took you, right, slight margin, right, and I took Greg. In the first round.
Yep.
So that would leave me versus you.
Yep.
And then it would leave Drew versus Greg.
Mm-hmm.
So based on that, I mean, my team is General Hospital right now with my running back. So, I don't know what my team's going to even look like a week from now. Hopefully I get Ramondre back. JT is eligible, I think, next week, but, who knows? So at the moment, it's probably a coin flip between me and you. I'll probably go me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Trust yourself.
No, just given the playoff history, maybe I'll take myself to win a game.
Hey,
I haven't won a playoff.
If you're picking me to win in the first round, that changes my playoff history. I'm no longer the bona fide playoff loser anymore. I finally have a win under my belt, so things could be different. The momentum might be swinging.
Absolutely. Yeah, just the fact that the quarterback thing for you.
Oh God, no.
The quarterback thing for you is the thing that's that's what's giving me the edge up on myself. At least I got my Buffalo fella. I feel confident in him, even if I don't feel comfortable in the other one at the moment. But so yeah, I'll go myself to advance there, and then Greg and Drew. Man, I want to take one more look at Drew's team real quick. Let's just see what that looks like.
We haven't touched on the 2 teams with a bye, our 2 best teams. Hopefully we can bounce.
Yeah, because we'll probably do that more, or whoever's going to do that more next week. But Drew's got Purdy. Purdy's been going. Mixon's been looking real good, even though Burrow's been out. Obviously he's got AJB, Jamar. usually solid, even though he's becoming a little inconsistent lately. And you got Jerome Ford. He's got some pieces. So you like what Drew's put together. But I think as of right now, I just want to see who Mahomes is playing that week, because that would be a big one in terms of who I would take.
It's tough because
he's playing Vegas, home against Vegas.
Yeah, and Drew's got Purdy going up against Baltimore, which is not an easy matchup. It's tough, these matchups.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about that. That's CMC and Debo for Greg, though, going against those two.
That's true as well.
Or those two going against Baltimore.
Yeah, you're not wrong there.
Yikes! Oh man. Yeah, but CMC usually gets his. Debo's been getting his lately. I'd go Greg. So I'd set up a me and Greg championship.
Wow.
And then obviously he just beat the hell out of me. But I'm hoping that in 2 weeks' time, if that's when we're to meet, that I'd have both Ramondre and JT back. I'd give myself a little bit more hope. If I'm at full strength, I'm going to take myself to win. Yep. I'll go heavy package. I'll go Trey McBride, flex. He's been doing solid.
2018
CD, Lamb chops.
That would be a 2018 championship.
Yeah, and we all remember how that went. Greg. I had a tight end put up 0. Yeah, I had a tight end put up 0, Greg, and I still walled you. So be prepared for that. Now I got 2 tight ends in the lineup, so get ready for that. But yeah, if that was to happen, of course, that's if I'm full strength. If I have neither of them, I'm probably going to look to Greg. If I even get there at that point, if I don't have either against you or against Kyle or Emmett, any of those. If I don't have my running backs, I don't feel as confident. But as of right now, assuming everybody's healthy based on the time frames that they were given, I'd take myself over Greg in the championship. I'll bring it over to you for your prediction.
Oh, man, I have to make a bracket here, too? I thought it was just a guess thing. I actually
hey, everybody on the show, even Kurt on CBS, he picks.
That's true. You're not wrong. All right, I'll make a quick bracket for myself. I'll take myself to win, surprisingly enough. I'll take Greg as well. I already said that. So I have the same first round as you. But now this leaves Emmett as an underdog, and I don't like that. All right, fuck it. I'll switch it. No. I trust my gut. I'll go with my team because it's my team.
Oh.
Those are my guys. I'll take, like I said, I'll take myself over you. Why wouldn't I? If I'm going to trust myself 1 week, I'll trust myself the next week. And I'll take, man, that'd be a fun one. Either way, I just think, me going up against Drew or Greg would be a fun championship just for storylines. You got one of the only 3 members who hasn't won yet going up against either the defending champ or, the points champ who's there every year. And Greg and I's history together. So I think that'd be a fun one as well. Let me take a quick peek at Greg's matchups week 16 just to see. And oddly enough, I don't think we've ever had someone 7-7 even win a playoff game, by the way. So this is already asking a lot out of my team and Emmett's team. Already at a disadvantage. Oh, I don't like Greg's matchups.
We'll have to get the guys in the truck to look that up for us.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure no one 7-7 has ever won, and if they have, they definitely haven't made it. They definitely haven't won a championship at 7-7. Usually we have most of our playoff guys at 8-6. So, just having someone at 7-7 and 3 of them at that matter, who knows? I'll take Drew to win and get back to a championship, and you get the defending champ trying to go back to back, be the first one to ever win 2, let alone go back to back, going up against the only person that hasn't won in a fun championship match. And I'll take myself with Jake Browning and Joe Flacco leading me to the promised land.
Hey, January Joe, but in December, right? I mean, maybe the championship will be in January. So if you get January, championship, if you get there, you got to start Joe. He's elite in January, so.
Let's see.
I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's the New Year's weekend.
It is New Year's weekend, but the championship would be New Year's Eve. So it'd be right before, we'll get a champion to strike into 2024 with. There is no Monday Night Football in Week 17. So
really?
Ends, Sunday night is the last game, December 31st. As the clock strikes 12, we crown a new champ.
Wow.
Yeah. The ball drops into.
That's incredible. Let's go. I didn't.
So that'll be a good one, Week 17. That'll be a lot of
Well,
fun.
because it's all yeah.
Because by then, the last Monday night game is Christmas. There's 3 Christmas games the week before, so Week 16 semifinals week will be 3 Christmas Monday games. And then when we get into Week 17, it's Thursday, 1 game Saturday, and then a full Sunday slate on New Year's Eve. Because Monday the 1st is
I'm excited for this, man.
Yeah, get into it. Everyone get excited. I hope that hyped everyone else up as well. That'll be a lot of fun. Championship week, no matter who it is. Just, clock strikes midnight and we have a new champ. Pop your champagne. Not only will you be popping your champagne at your New Year's Eve party, you'll be popping it being a champ. So that'll be great. I'm excited now. I'm super excited just for this weekend. We didn't even get into it. We're out of time here today, but we have Dynasty Playoffs. Don't forget about those. We have quick matchups there. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. I know you're not part of it in the Dynasty Playoffs this time around, but should be a good one. Emmett, our second in points, going up against Greg, which is just going to be an all-out battle, all-out brawl. And then Barrera and Steve going up while Cactus and I sit pretty with the buys. Dynasty's going to be a lot of fun as well. We'll have 2 championships going, or 2 playoffs going at the same time. A lot of KFG this weekend. A lot of KFG for the next 3 weeks. I love it. Any closing remarks here before I sign us off?
No, dude. Thanks for having me on. Can't wait to follow both playoffs. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. And good luck to all those competing for the Sacco.
Yeah.
Punishment going to get finalized soon, so I hope you guys avoid that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to, hey, if you're in the Sacco, all you got to do is win once. You just got to win once. Get yourself out of it. If you're in the playoffs, best of luck to everyone. Hey, 8 out of 10 members in both leagues are playing this week, while the other 4 get to sit pretty on a bye. But everyone else that's fighting this week, hey, best of luck. Do what got you this far. Stick with your gut. Stick with your guys. I wish myself luck. Emmett, it'll be a fun one. I can already tell it's gonna be a fun one based on what happened overnight tonight. So this should be a good one. Best of luck, guys. And as always, keep fantasy great. We'll see you next time.